Hello friends and my dear students, I welcome you all to my channel. I hope you are all well and your studies are going on well. This video is part of the playlist CBSE Mathematics Class 7 following the textbook of author R.S. Aggarwal. In this video, I will solve a practice test paper 1 on the chapter Ratio and Proportion, which will be a good test to test your understanding on the concepts of ratio and proportion. This is part 6 of the series of videos on the chapter ratio and proportion. If you have not watched the previous 5 parts, I highly suggest that you watch them first and then you can try to solve this test paper 1 yourself, and if you are stuck at any problem, then you can watch the solution. The link of the PDF of this test paper 1 will be in the description below. So if you are not yet subscribed and if you are watching my videos regularly and my videos are beneficial to you, then I will highly suggest that you please support me by subscribing to my channel, and also please do not forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified by my future videos. So let's get started with this video. Okay, so I have the test paper 1 on the left hand side, and it has 15 questions, and ideally you should solve this in an hour. So approximately you should take 4 minutes to solve a question. I will try to solve it in an hour, but I'm not sure whether I can do that because I might get stuck at any problem, or I might take longer time, since I will be discussing also the concepts applied in solving a problem. So there are 15 questions, as you can see. I hope you will be able to read properly the questions. My handwriting is not that good, but I think you will be able to make out the questions and the writings. Okay, so let's start solving the problem. Problem number 1 says that if a bus travels 160 km in 4 hours and a train travels 320 km in 5 hours at uniform speed, then the ratio of the distances traveled by them in an hour is. Okay, so this problem is a mixture of problem on ratio and proportion as well as unitary method, even though I have not covered the chapter on unitary method. But I think it's not that hard problem. You must be all aware of the unitary method, solving problems based on unitary method. So it is given that it is given that for a bus it travels 160 kilometer in 4 hours. So, and also it is given a train travels 320 km in 5 hours at uniform speed. They are both traveling at same speed. Now it has asked the ratio of the distances traveled by them in an hour. So basically the distance traveled in an hour is basically the speed of the train or the bus. So we have to just find the ratio of their speed, which will be, the speed will be distance covered in an hour, that is kilometer per hour. So if the bus travels 160 km in 4 hours, this implies that in 1 hour distance covered, this is unitary method, in 1 hour distance covered by bus will be equal to 160 divided by 4 kilometer. This is 40 kilometer. Similarly, for train, it is given that it covers a distance of 320 kilometer in 5 hours. So from here we can say that in 1 hour distance covered by train equals 320 by 5 kilometer. This equals 64 kilometer. So the required now it has asked the ratio of the distances traveled by them in an hour. So required ratio will be equal to 40, because 40 kilometer is traveled by the bus in an hour, 40 and 60 kilometer is traveled by the train in an hour. So 40 is to 64 will be the ratio. This is if you divide by both the term, if you convert this ratio to its simplest form, it becomes, I guess, 5 by 8. If you divide by 8, this is 5 by 8. Okay, so 5 by 8 is the answer. So the correct choice is choice C. Okay, so while if you are if you have already solved this paper, and if you are watching the solution, then you can pause the video and take a screenshot for your reference. And yes, so let's do problem number 2. Problem number 2 says, which of the following pairs of ratios are in proportion? So in the choices, a pairs of proportion are given. We know that this pair of proportion, let's say A comma A is to B and C is to D, this pair of proportion, this pair of ratio are in proportion if A by B or the ratio are equal, that is A by B equals to C by D. We know this from the definition of proportion of two ratios. So we have to check this for all the choices. So let's see each choices one by one. 2 by 3. 2 by 3, it is saying that if for the first choice the pairs of ratios are given 2 by 3 and 4 by 6. Now this equals 4 by 6. 4 by 6, if you reduce it, 4 by 6 can be, if you reduce this fraction to its simplest form, it becomes 2 by 3, and so it is same as the first fraction. So these two ratios are equal. So this is true. So choice A should be the correct choice. And you, since these are all multiple choice questions, only correct choices, only one choice will be correct. So you need not check the other choices, but still you can see that 8 by 4 and 3 by 6 are definitely not equal. Also 4 by 5 and is not equals to 12 by 20, and also 7 by 11 is not equal to 21 by 44. So definitely this choice A is the answer. Choice A is the answer. Okay. Problem number 3. It is given that if 1 by x is to 1 by y is in proportion with A is to B. This is given, the 1 by x by 1 by y is in proportion to A is to B. Then which of the following option is not correct? We have to choose the choice which is not correct. Okay. Now from this, what we can say? We can say that if so these two ratios are in proportion, this means that 1 by x is to 1 by y equals A is to B. Now this implies, if we convert them to fractions, this implies 1 by x divided by 1 by y equals A by B. Now this implies, if you simplify the fraction on the left hand side, this becomes y by x equals A by B. So this implies that y is to x equals A is to B. This is what we get. Now we have to see which choices is incorrect. So choice A, y is to x is in proportion to A is to B. This is exactly what we have derived. So choice A is a correct choice, is correct. So this is correct. We have to select the incorrect choice. Now B, it is saying that x is to y is in proportion with B is to A. Now from this you can say always that if two ratios are equal, if two ratios are equal, then the ratios obtained by reversing the terms will also be equal. I mean, if y is to x equals to a is to b, then of course x is to y will be equals to b is to a. This you should understand. So the choice B is also is correct. Choice B is also correct. Okay, so choice C is saying y is to x is in proportion with b is to a. But we have already found that y is to x equals to a is to b. That is, y is to x is in proportion to a is to b, not b is to a. So this is incorrect. This is incorrect. So definitely I will not check further the choice D, since only we have to select only one choice is correct. So definitely the answer is C, because C is not correct. Okay, let's do question number 4. If you find difficulty in understanding my solution or steps or my explanation of any concepts, then please do let me know in the comment section. If you have any query, let me know in the comment section. I will do my best to answer your query or explain your or clarify your doubt. Okay, so let's do question number 4. It says that if X men can complete a task in m days, then Y men will complete the task in how many days? Okay, so it's a problem on time and work. So X men does the work. It is given that in m days. X men does the work in m days. Okay, and it is asking that Y men in how many days my Y men will complete the task. Now since particular this specific type of problem, for this to solve this specific type of problem, you have to understand one thing, which is about direct variation and indirect variation, which is actually a concept on a unitary method, but this kind of problem are often given from the on the chapter of ratio and proportion. So you must understand the concept for solving this kind of problem, that is main and work, that is time and work. So when it is you must understand that men, let's say number of men, if I consider that to be m, the quantity m denotes the number of men, and the number of days required to complete a task. If it takes m men, if it takes m men to complete a task in d days, then and so a particular kind of task, it is taking to complete a particular kind of task m men in d days. Now the number of men, so m is actually inversely proportional, not proportion, there is a concept of direct variation and inverse variation. So M is so the concept is that what is this? So the concept is that in time and work, if you consider a specific task, a particular type of task, uh, then more men will do the task in less days. If you increase the number of men, then the number of days will decrease. So for a specific task, if you increase m, d will decrease, and if you decrease m, d will increase. So this actually means that m into d is a constant. M into d is a constant. This is the fundamental concept of time and work, and to solve this kind of problem. So m and d is constant for a specific type of task. Please remember that for us to complete a specific type of task, if you m into d, where m denotes represents the number of men required and d represents the number of days required to complete a task, then m into d is a constant. So this means that if I consider in the problem that y men will complete the task in x days, we know that we must have x into m equals y into x. X into m should be equal to y into x, because x into m will be constant. Since the task is same, we are talking about a particular type of task, x into m for that task, where it is given that x men completes that task in m days. Then if you change the number of men to y, and if y men are completing that task in x days, then yx will be equal to xm. So from here we can say that we cannot consider x because x is already given. So let's say if this is some t days, then xm equals to yt. We must have t is the unknown, so yt. So this implies we have to find t. So from this equation we know that t will be xm divided by y. So the correct choice is B. The correct choice is B. Okay. Let's do problem number 5. Problem number 5 says that A's money is to B's money as 4:5, and B's money is to C's money as 2:3. If A has rupees 800, then C has. Okay. So in the problem it is given that A, B and C has some money, and it is given that if I denote A to be the capital A to be the A's money, capital B to be the B's money, and capital C to be the C's money, it is given that A is to B equals 4:5, and also it is given that B is to C equals 2:3, and it is given also that A equals rupees 800. Then we have to find C. Okay. So from this we can say that A by B equals 4/5, and from this we can say that B by C equals 2/3. Now if I multiply these two, so if I just do A by B multiplied by B by C, this will give A by B is 4/5, and B by C is 2/3. So this implies from the left hand side B cancels, we get A by C equals, the right hand side is 8 by 15. 8 by 15. A by C is 8 by 15. And so from this we can say that C equals 15A by 8. And this is, and A is given, this is rupees 800. So 800 is divided by 800, so this is equals 1500. So C will get 1500 rupees, 1500. So the answer is choice A. Okay, let's do problem number 6. Problem number 6 says that if A is to B is in proportion with C is to D, it is given that if A is to B, it is given that A is to B is in proportion with C is to D. Then the value of, then it has asked the value of MA plus NC divided by MB plus ND. Okay. It has asked to find the value of MA plus NC divided by MB plus ND. Now to solve this kind of problem, so we know that from this fact that A by A is to B is in proportion to C is to D, we know that A is to B equals C is to D. This is from the definition of proportion, and this implies that A by B equals C by D. Okay. Now, one standard way of solving this kind of problem is that we have A by B equals to C by D. You can assume that this to be equals to some constant K. So from here we can say that A equals KB and C equals KD. Now we have to find what is MA plus NC divided by MB plus ND. So definitely in the choices you can see, okay, there are some choices. So now if I substitute in this ratio, if I substitute A and C, A in terms of B and C in terms of D, I get that A we have found to be KB, and NC, C is KD, divided by, we have MB plus ND. Now from the numerator you can take K common, and you will have K common, then you will have MB plus ND divided by MB plus ND. So this cancels out, this is nothing but K. Now, okay. So, and what is K? We have assumed that A by B equals to C by D equals to K. So K is equals to A by B. K is also C by D, but in the choice it is given A by B. So the answer is choice D. So the ratio, we have found that the ratio MA plus NC divided by MB plus ND equals to K. And what is K? K was, we assumed K is the ratio, we assume that A by B equals to C by D equals to K. So from this, uh, we got A, we find A in terms of B, that is A equals to KB, and we find C in terms of D, that is C equals to KD. And in the given ratio, we replace A with the term A with AB with KB, and we replace C with KD. And then we simplify it further, and we get the ratio is equal to K. And now we know that K is equal to either A by B or C by D. And in the choice, it is given A by B. So the answer is D. Let's do question number 7. Question number 7 says that rupees 3010 is divided among A, B and C such that A gets double of what B gets and B gets double of what C gets, then amount C gets. Okay. So the ratio of A is to B and B is to C are given indirectly in words. It says that A gets double of what B gets. This actually means that mathematically A is twice of B, and also it is given B gets double of what C gets. So B equals to C. This is given, and the total amount is 3010. Okay. Then amount is divided among A, B and C such that A gets, okay. So a total amount, let's say denoted by Q, is rupees 3010, and we have to divide this total amount Q in A, B and C such that we have A equals to 2B, twice of B, and B equals to twice C. Now from this we have to actually find the ratio A is to B is to C. From this we can say, from A is equals to 2B, we can say that A by B equals 2. This implies that A is to B equals 2 is to 1. Similarly, from this we will get B by C equal, this is we can say that 2 by 1, this is 2 by 1. This implies B is to C equals 2 is to 1. Now we know A is to B and we know B is to C, and to find A is to B is to C, A is to B is to C, A is to B is to C, we have to make the term B term equal to same. But in these ratios we find, in the first ratio A is to B, the B term is 1. But in the second ratio, that is B is to C, the B term is 2. So we have to convert these two ratios to equivalent ratio so that the B terms will be same, and that same will be actually the LCM of 1 and 2, which is 2. So to convert this to a ratio, equivalent ratio, so that the B term is 2, we will multiply both the terms with 2. So this becomes equal to 4 is to 2, and we have B is to C equals 2 is to 1. Now from these two facts, that A is to B equals to 4 is to 2 and B is to C equals to 2 is to 1, we can say that A is to B is to C equals 4 is to 2 is to 1. Now if we have this kind of ratio of three terms, three quantities, then we know that, and if you know that, so ABC are the three parts, ABC represents the three parts of the quantity rupees 3010. So we know that it has asked the amount C gets. So from here, from this ratio, we know that C will be equal to, as I've already discussed in the theory, in the ratio, probably part 1, where if you have this kind of ratio, three terms, you have the ratio of three terms, and then if these three quantities, I mean if Q, the total quantity is divided, into three parts, such that they are in the ratio x y into z, that is 3 parts are in the ratio x is to y is to z, then the x part, I mean the first part, that is the part is whose ratio, whose let's say if the quantity q is divided into 3 parts which are in ratio x is to y, y is to z, then the first part will be equals to x divided by x plus y plus z multiplied by q, where q is the total amount which has been divided into 3 parts, and the 3 parts are in the ratio x is to y is to z. Then the first part will be x by x plus y plus z into q. Similarly, the third part will be z divided by x plus y plus z into q. So this is the formula. So from we have a is to b is to c is equal to 4 is to 2 is to 1, and we know that the total amount, that is a plus b plus c, is given to be rupees 3010. So we can say that the amount of c will be 1, because the term corresponding to the c is 1 in the ratio a1 divided by 1 plus 2 plus 1 into the total amount, which is rupees 3010. This is 1 by 7 multiplied by rupees 3010, and I think this 3010 will divide is divided by 7. So this is 7, 4 and 3, yes, 430. So this is equal to rupees 430. So C get rupees 430. So the answer is choice B. The answer is choice B. Okay. Let's do question number 8. Question number 8 says that if 2 is to 3 is in proportion with 4 is to a, and 12 is to a is in proportion with b is to 5, then the value of a plus b is. Okay, so it is given that 2 is to 3 is in proportion with 4 is to a, and it is also given that 12 is to a is in proportion with b is to 5. Now from this we can definitely find out what a is. So we know that 2 by 3, 2 is to 3 is equal to 4 is to a. This implies 2 by 3 equals 4 by a, and from this doing cross product we know that a will be 4 by 3 into 2, that is a will be a will be 4 into 3 by 2, this is 6, a is 6. Now from this we know that 12 is to a equals b is to 5. This implies 12 by a equals b by 5. This implies b will be equals to 12 into 5 by a. This is 12 into 5 by 6, because a we have already found to be 6. This is 10. So b is 10 and a is 6. This implies it is coming, a plus b is coming 16, and it is not it is not given in the choice. Let me see if I did it correct or not, if I did some mistake or not. So we have 2 is to 3 equals to 4 is to a. This means 2 by 3 equals 4 by a, and then from here we can find a to be 4 into 3 by 2, that is fine. A is 6. A is 6. Okay. Now from 12 is to A is in proportion to B is to 5, we get 12 is to A equals to A B is to 5, and from here we can say 12 by A equals B by 5. From here we can say that B equals 12 into 5 by A, so which is 12 into 5 by 6, this is 10. So A plus B is coming to be 10 plus is coming to be 6 plus 10, which is 16, and it is not given in the choice. So I don't know, maybe I did some mistake in writing the choices. So the answer is 16. So the answer is 16. Okay. Let's do question number 9. It says that in an isosceles triangle ABC, the ratio of the angles are given. That is, angle A is to angle B is to angle C is given 1 is to 1 is to 2. Then angle C is equal to. Okay. So it is given that angle A is to angle B is to angle C is 1 is to 1 is to 2. So definitely we can, from the ratio, from the terms, we can say that angle A is equal to angle B. So that is why it's an isosceles triangle. Okay. Now it has asked to find the angle C. Now how do we find the angle C? We know that for these kind of problems where the ratio of three terms are given, and it is also given the total of the three terms, the total of the three quantities, I mean the ratio of three quantities are given, and we also know the sum of the quantities, then the standard way is that the standard way, I mean if it is given that A is to B, three quantities are in the ratio A is to B is to C, and it is also given that A plus B plus C is some value A, then we have to find A, B and C. Sorry, not find A, B and C. If the quantities A, if three quantities A, B, C are in the ratio small a is to small b is to small c, and we also know that A plus B plus C is some constant given, that the general strategy is that we assume that A is AX, B is BX and C is CX, and then we use the fact that A plus B plus C equals to Q. From here we find X, and then once X is found, we will know what is A, we can get the value of A, B and C. So we will apply the same concept in this problem, because we know the fact that angle A in any triangle, the sum of the angles of the triangle is always equals to 180 degree. We know that the sum of the angles of a triangle, of any triangle, is 180 degree. So let angle A be X, let angle B be X, let angle C be 2x. Since the ratio is given to be 1 is to 1 is to 2, we are assuming that the angle A to be X, angle B to be X and angle C to be 2x. So this implies, we know, since the sum of the angles of any triangle is 180 degree, so this will imply that X plus 2x equals 180 degree. So this implies 4x equals 180 degree. This implies that x equals 180 by 4 degree. This is 45 degree. Now this implies it has asked the value of angle C. So therefore, angle C will be 2x. This is equal to 2 into 45 degree. This is 90 degree. So angle C is 90 degree. So the answer is choice D. Answer is choice D. Okay. Let's do question number 10. It says that 57 chocolates are divided into friends A, B and C in the ratio 1/3 is to 1/2 is to 3/4 respectively. Then how many chocolates is received by C? So it's kind of similar problem to the problem 9. So we know that it is given A is to B is to C is given as 1/3 is to half is to 3/4. Now you can always convert this ratio to an equivalent ratio so that the terms are integers. Since it's in fraction, you can do with the fraction, no problem. But if you are uncomfortable with fractions, you can always convert a given ratio to an equivalent ratio by multiplying, so that the terms becomes integers. That is by multiplying some same non-constant number with all the terms. So if I multiply all the terms, multiplying all terms by the LCM of the denominators, that is LCM of 3, 2, 4, which is 12. Multiplying all terms by LCM of 3, 2 and 4, which is 12, we get this will be equal to 4 is to 6 is to 9. So now we know that A is to B is to C equals to 4 is to 6 is to 9, and 57 chocolates has been divided into A, B and C in this ratio, that is the ratio 4 is to 6 is to 9, and we have to find how many chocolates is received by C. So let's go by the standard way. So now if you apply you can always apply the formula. If A is to B is to C is given, some ratio is given, and if you know the value of A plus B plus C, then we can always say the C will be equals to its corresponding term in the ratio, that is 9, divided by sum of all the terms in the ratio, which is 4 plus 6 plus 9 into the total quantity, that is A plus B plus C, which is given to be 57. Now this is 9 by 19 into 57. This is cancels with 3, 27. So C gets 27 chocolates. So the answer is B. So this was applying the direct formula that if a quantity is divided into 3 parts, A, B and C, and their ratio is given, then you get the third, you get the value of C by multiplying the factor, by multiplying the fraction, where the fraction is the term in the ratio, the C term in the ratio divided by the sum of all the terms, and then this fraction multiplied by the total amount, that is A plus B plus C. Okay. Let's do question number 11. Question number 11 says that if 3 kg 500 gram is to 7 kg is in proportion with 27 kg is to m kg, then the value of m is. So it is given that 3 kg 500 gram is to 7 kg is in proportion with 27 kg is to m kg. We have to find m. This proportion information is given. So to solve this kind of problem, you see the units are all in same, the units of all the terms or all the quantities are same. No, they are not the same, but the first the first quantity is given in kg and gram, whereas the other three quantities are given in kg. So we have to first convert the first quantity, that is 3 kg 500 gram, into gram. And I think so we have to convert all the quantities in gram, because in when you are given a ratio of two quantities, and first of all those two quantities should be of same kind and of same unit. Now if they are of same kind but not in same unit, you have to first convert them to the same unit. So let's convert all the quantities in this ratio, in this proportion, all the quantities in this proportion to gram. So I can say that 3 kg, so as you know, I know that 1 kg equals 1000 gram. So using this fact, I know that 3 kg 500 gram will be 3500 gram is to 7 kg will be 7000 gram, is in proportion with 27 kg means 27,000 gram, and m kg means m into 1000 gram. Now from this I know these two ratios are, this is one ratio and this is second ratio, these two ratios are in proportion, so they should be equal. So now I can say that 3500 is to 7000 equals 27,000 is to m into 1000. Now this implies that 3500 divided by 7000 equals 27000 divided by 1000 m. Now doing cross product, we can say that we can find m as m equals 27000 multiplied by 7000 divided by 3500 multiplied by 1000. Now this cancels with 7, and 735 divides with 500, and 20 cancels here, 20 cancels here, and 5 divides 270 with 555. 55 I am getting. How come? 270 divided by 5 is 270 divided by 5 is 54. So m is 54. M is 54. Okay. So m is 54. So the correct choice is D. Okay. Let's do problem number 12. Problem number 12 says that if 4a equals to 3b, then find, it has asked to find the ratio 7a plus 9b is to 4a plus 5b. So it is given that 4a equals 3b. Now, so this implies that a by b equals a by b equals 3 by 4. This implies that a is to b equals 3 is to 4. The ratio of a and b is 3 is to 4. So from the fact that 4a equals to 3b, we found that the ratio of a is to b is 3 is to 4. Okay. Now from here we can say that Now we have to find 7a plus, we have to find 7a, the ratio of 7a plus 9b is to 4a plus 5b. Now to solve this kind of problems, now from here we can say that let a be 3x and b be 4x using their ratio. We know that a is to b equals to 3 is to 4. From here we can assume always that let a be 3x and b be 4x, and we have to and now we can find the ratio 7a plus 9b divided by 7a. We have to find the ratio 7a plus 9b is to 4a plus 5b, which is nothing but the fraction 7a plus 9b divided by 4a plus 5b. Now in this fraction we will substitute a and b in terms of x. So we know that a is 3x, so we substitute a with 3x and substitute b with 4x divided by 4a, that is 3x, 5b, that is 5 into 4x. Now this becomes, after simplification, this becomes 21x plus 36x divided by 12x plus 20x. Now if we can say that this is 57x divided by 32x. Now x cancels out, and 57, so this is 57 divided by 32. So definitely the ratio will be 57 is to 32. So the answer is choice D. The answer is choice D. Okay, let's do problem number 13. It says that a drug is prepared by mixing alcohol and water in the ratio 3 is to 11. Okay, how much ml of alcohol is required to prepare 280 ml of the drug? Okay, so a drug, to prepare the drug, alcohol and water is mixed in the ratio 3 is to 11, and it is asking to prepare a 280 ml of drug which will have both alcohol and water. How much alcohol will be in 280 ml of the drug? In 280 ml of the drug, 280 ml of the drug means which contains both the water and the alcohol. Combining both alcohol and water, 280 ml of the drug. So in that 280 ml of drug, how much ml will be alcohol? Okay, so it is given that if I consider alcohol as A and water as W, so A is to what in the drug, the ratio of alcohol is to water is given to be 3 is to 11. Now in the so for now we can always assume, just as we did for solving many problems earlier, that let in 280 ml of drug AB, that is alcohol, be 3x, and water, that is WB, 11x. So we know that the amount of water and the alcohol will be 280 ml. So this implies that 3x plus 11x equals 280. This implies 14x equals 280. This implies x equals 280. divided by 14, which is 20. So X is 20. So this implies the 280 ml of drug. It has asked how much ml of alcohol is required. So the 280 ml of drug alcohol will be 3x, that is 3x is equals 3 into 20 equals 60 ml of alcohol. So the answer is choice D. Answer is choice D. Let's do problem number 14. Problem number 14 says that if m plus n is to m minus n is in proportion with m is to n. Okay, so it is given that m plus n is to m minus n is in proportion to m is to n, then m square minus n square, then it has asked to find the ratio of m square minus n square and mn. Okay, so from this we know that using the definition of a proportion, we know that this means m plus n is to m minus n equals m is to n. Now if we, from here we can say that if we consider the ratio as a fraction, m plus n divided by m minus n equals m by n. Now if we do cross products, we get that n into m plus n equals m into m minus n. Now if we simplify both sides, do the products and open the brackets, we get nm plus n square equals m square minus mn. Now if I bring the mn terms to the left hand side and all other terms to the right hand side, I get nm plus mn equals m square minus n square. This implies 2 twice mn equals m square minus n square. Or we can say the other way around, that m square minus n square equals 2 mn. This implies m square minus n square divided by mn equals 2 by 1. 2 by 1. So this implies that the ratio of m square minus n square is to mn equals 2 is to 1. So the correct choice is B. Correct choice is B. Okay. Let's do the last question, that is 15. It says that the present ages of Rohan and his father are in the ratio P is to Q. If the difference between their ages is 20, then the sum of their ages is. Okay. So let R, if R be the present age of Rohan and F be the present age of father, it is given that R is to F is given to be A is to B. Sorry, it is given P is to Q. It is given P is to Q. Okay. So if the difference between their ages is 20, then the sum of their ages is. Now, if we assume that, let R, where R and F denote the present age of Rohan and his father, let R and F be Px and Qx respectively. So given a ratio between two quantity, we can always assume that quantities to be as the terms multiplied by x. So let R and F be Px and Qs respectively. So this implies, so now the present age of Rohan is Px and present age of father is Qx. It is given that if the difference between their ages is 20, so definitely father's age is more than Rohan's age. So we have, it is given that Qx minus Px equals 20. This implies, if I take x common, that x into q minus p equals 20. This implies that x equals 20 divided by q minus p. So now this implies that if R, the present age of Rohan will be Px, which is equal to x we have found to be 20 by q minus p. So this is Px will be 20 p divided by q minus p. So also f will be Qx, this equals 20 q divided by q minus p. So now we have to find the sum of their ages. This implies R plus F equals 20p divided by q minus p plus 20q divided by q minus p. Now, so the denominator are same, so this will be 20p plus 20q divided by q minus p. This is equal to, if we take 20 common from the numerator, this is 20 into p plus q divided by q minus p. This should be the sum of their ages, and we have to see which choice it matches with, and it matches with choice D. Sorry, not D. D, the denominator is p minus q, but the denominator should be q minus p. So it matches with choice C. So C is the correct answer. So this brings to the end of solving the practice test paper 1. This should be a good set of problems to test your understanding on the chapter of ratio and proportion. If you think that if you need another test, that is another test paper 2, then I can prepare that. Please do let me know in the comment section if you need another test paper on the chapter ratio and proportion. I will be pleased to know that. And I hope this video was beneficial, and if it is so, then please like it, share it with your friends, and also once again please support me by subscribing to my channel, and also please do not forget to press the bell icon so that you will be notified by my future videos. So if you need another test, then I will prepare another test paper 2 tomorrow, and if not, then I will move on to the next chapter, which is unitary method. So thanks for watching, and until the next video, take care and bye.